Sako's a code for a different word. Did you find any clues? Huh. Let me see. It's just a soccer magazine. Don't tell me you're thinking she messed up a bicycle kick and that's how she hurt herself. Huh? So you were thinking that. I'm paying attention over here too, you know. I can hear it exchange, but it does not register. I'm feeling impatient and something on the tip of my tongue. What else did Ichigo-san say when she was going out about soccer? Huh? Oh, she said something about getting people in class to try it. Oh, what's this? Think some bullying happened? Don't be sarcastic. Not that, it was something else. I press her impatiently and Rika says there was something about a horse. The moment she says it, the lid of my memories is flung wide open. That's it. That's the lingo. She told us how in contact sports, like soccer, when you receive a kick to the inner thigh, it's called a Charlie horse. Yes, that's it. After that, she said it was held like in a restaurant. I see a bug, they say number 5. What the heck? Just trying to remember some trivia. That's dumb, she says. She puts her hands behind her head and turns to look out the window. That's it. Word I couldn't come to mind, and the knowledge of gardening my grandfather taught me before. I put the magazine back to where it was, and like Gaki, I gazed out the window in the direction of a row of chochis. I figured out a mystery of what Yatsuhiro-senpai said. Really? Yeah. All that's left is a mystery of the dirt on her shoes. If we figure that out, we'll know who the culprit is. My Amitiė partner let out a gasp of surprise and been asking him to help me with the final step. Together we set out to solve the mystery of red dirt. After class. We haven't had a tea party in a while, and the entire class is there, including Erika Yagaki, who barely ever joins. Then... I'm sorry to keep you waiting. A clear voice calls out to us. I'm so glad you invited me. She doesn't understand the objective of this tea party, but with tension of the air eases Sister Basket, claps her hands before her chest in greeting. Everyone bows their heads back in greeting, then... Everyone here, this is the first tea party we've had in a while, but today... You're going to help us with class performance. Yuri, who'd remained hidden until now, appears and noise returns to a silent scene. What is this class performance? I thought you'd be able to guess on the fact that I'm here, but... It's like the Yatsuhiro incident. And you think I'm really silent. The chattering grows louder and Sister Basket folds her arms in front of her chest as though holding her abundant bosom. That's not true. No one thinks such a thing. Thank you, but I think you're the only one, Sister Dahlia. Everyone else here thinks I'm a culprit. No, maybe half? Mio speaks light-heartedly about her classmates without guard, suspiciously, while Sister Dahlia looks on at her with pity. Anyway, Mio's Amitiė partner, I cannot allow things to go on like this. That's why I've created this opportunity here to vindicate her. Oh, vindication, but I've never doubted her. Sister Basket's lost voice is drowned out by an optimistic voice saying, why not? It seems fun, so we can figure it a sideshow to a tea party. Yes, she called it a performance. Now as the Sakas have agreed to it, the eyes of everyone in the class turn from suspicious to interested. There isn't much in the way of entertainment at the academy. Perhaps they feel like there's no harm in listening. After reasoning Sister Basket's grudging assent, I step forward and take centre stage. With all eyes on me, I summon up my courage and start to speak. First of all, let's start with why Yuri-san became a suspect and go from there. For a day of the incident, Yuri Yatsuro was discovered collapsed before the entrance. Wound on her head. The sports towel pressed against the wound. She was covered in red clay in the nurse's office. I remember words she'd said, Sakura. How students with Sakura in their names were interrogated. But since they all had alibis, the next guest was replaced, and everyone's attention shifted to a place with cherry trees. Then the time frame during which Yuri Yatsuro was attacked. A slow sequence of events that led to Mayuri, who'd been cleaning around the cherry trees between 5 and 6, coming under suspicion. I'm sorry, but from what you just said, isn't it normal to suspect Yuri? Many people agree with Ichigo's assessment of my story so far. Their scrutinising gazes become even sharper. However, maybe so. When I heard the story, I also wondered why Yatsuro-senpai would even be under the cherry trees in the first place. I was dubious about the sports towel she had on her. Why was she taking such a thing with her to the cherry trees? She has a point. Speaking of people agreeing with Ringo, however, Ichigo raises her voice and clasps her hand. Actually, I heard she was really into soccer. Perhaps she was practicing under the cherry trees, where no one would disturb her. If that were the case, then bringing a sports towel would make sense. And Ichigo's word and set down a cup of him, taking a sip from. When Ichigo, who's coming down from excitement, sees Riku's expression, she mutters an apology. It's certainly true Yatsuro-senpai had an interest in soccer. Even I know that, I've talked to you about it with Ichigo-san. Is that so? Oh yeah, I think I remember. You were one who told me about it. You're saying we should all try it, and you brought up the term Charlie horse. Oh yes, I did say that, didn't I? In soccer lingo, it means a kick to unify during contact sports. Yeah, that's it. From this jargon, I arrived at a theory, I say to this basket. A theory? At first I thought the word Yatsuro-senpai said, Sakura, was baffling. Oh, I don't understand. Why? This isn't a mystery novel. The person attacked, they knew who did it, they would normally say the name of the assailant, right? She didn't know who it was. She might say something about her distinguishing features or the name of the place she was attacked. That's why it meant row of cherry trees, right? I shake my head and tell her she's wrong. Not only Sister Basket, but the entire class is looking at me. I push back her feelings rising within me. That Sakura was a place not with names, right? The scene of the crime was not a row of cherry trees. So, where is it? The greenhouse. I say decisively, she blinks at me in confusion. My classmates do the same. Sister Basket looks shaken. I tell her about the theory I formed, what I saw in Yatsuro-senpai's room. I've spoken about this to you before, sister. My grandfather enjoyed gardening, and I often helped him out. Yes, you've told me that. You had me with potted plants in a greenhouse before, but... what has that got to do with anything? I know she's about to ask. In order to convince her, I must have her listen a little more to my talk of gardening. You know flowers your namesake, Dahlia, right? You grow them yourself. Yes. I'm not attacking you, but just something I'd like to ask you. Have you been to Dahlia Horticulture Show? Basket made a face as though she's about to cry and shakes her head a little. I know about them from magazines. Because dahlias are susceptible to mutation. They boast an exceptional number of varieties within the plant world. Over 30,000 kinds. That's why when a person makes a new variety, they give it a name to distinguish it. But that's a strange names, right? Yes, there are. I see. I've also raised them in hopes of making a new variety. Sister Basket's expression transforms into a smile, and the rest of her class somewhat relieved too. I turned to my classmates and addressed them. There were regular varieties like Alpen Hazel and Barbarossa. There were also more unusual variants such as Princess Kaguya, Red Dragonfly, and Chrysler, which are given their names in fun. A wave of giggles rippled through the class. I turned to Sister Basket once again to get to the main point. Even more confusing, the dahlias were names of the flowers. For example, some have names like Cosmos and Red Rose. Despite the fact they are also named dahlias. Why am I suddenly thinking of Himawari and Pansy as well? Could it be Miss Shirahane? Yes. Well, dahlias are the name of other flowers. Do you know of any with the name of Sakura? Sakura Fuguruki? Sakura Full Moon? Sakura Queen? Yes, and the dahlias that Sister Basket is wearing. Sakura Hunt. That's a name you don't want to say too quickly. She murmurs on exhale. I turn to face the students who still haven't caught on. That's right. The Sakura thing the Yatsuhiro-senpai spoke of was a kind of dahlia in a greenhouse. An incident occurred before the Sakura Hunt dahlias. And that's what she was saying. It's not under the cherry trees, but before the dahlias in a greenhouse. The ripples of chatter get louder, growing into a clamour. My amateur partner beside me also staring at me in surprise. We're in such a rush I didn't have time to tell them. I'm so grateful, but despite that, they believed me and gave this opportunity for me to reveal everything. Is that right? So the sports towel was... Yes. Because if she was working on a greenhouse, she would sweat. So it makes sense to bring a sports towel. When she injured her head, she had just a thing to stem the bleeding. And red dirt on her shoes. There's also my gardening knowledge. I heard from my grandfather red clays are best for apples, beside the apple trees. There's also better dahlias, right? I nod and smile at Ringo, who's expressing a giggle at the idea of growing herself on trees. Sister Basket stares dumbfounded as I continue. On the day of the incident, Yatsuhiro-senpai was probably working in the greenhouse. She slipped while pruning the apple trees and hit her head on one of the bricks lining the flower bed. That explained why it appeared like she was hit by something square thrown at her head. Realising she was bleeding, she tried to get to the nurse's office, but there was more blood loss than she realised, and she fainted at the entrance. The reason she tried to say the name Sakura Hunt is because the person who helped her was in the gardening club. Because there are other kinds of dahlias spotted in other locations, right? However, she passed out before she could finish speaking. Either that or a student who tried to help couldn't hear her. As an explanation of a series of events, Sister Basket finally regains her composure. At the moment of contemplation, she murmurs, "That's strange." She hit her head. Why would she even say the name of a Sakura Hunt dahlias? What you say is true, there will be, of course, no need to name a culprit. But it wouldn't be necessary to say the name of a place either, would it? All she needed to say was, take me to a nurse's office. Yeah, what she said. The story seems to be lacking in logic, and suspicion is back in my classmate's eyes. I see Rika and Yuri looking at me anxiously. There's a reason why she said her name, Sakura Hunt. First, perhaps she was heading to a nurse's office by herself without asking anyone for help. I mean, she did not think her injury was serious. Does that make sense? Her work on a greenhouse took place between 5 and 6. When I looked into it, after class that day, Yatsura Senpai stopped by a cooking club for a brief period. Then she left in a hurry. Really? I was having a class project that day, so I had no idea. The important thing here is after a cooking club, she didn't go back to her dorm, but instead went immediately to a greenhouse. When she bought a sports towel, it implied she had planned to go directly to there from the start, so... She was going to a greenhouse directly without first returning to her dorm. I think we should have brought with her. Yes, the thing I couldn't find when I searched her room was suspicious in its absence. I found it strange that it wasn't there. The thing she had taken with her directly from a cooking club to a greenhouse was... So... Cooking implements, well... They would have really noticed if she took her cooking implements out of the cooking club. And why have she taken with her? Sports towel. Yep. She did have it with her, but anyway, but don't think she was taking it with her anyway, regardless. The bag? The school bag. Yeah, we wouldn't find cooking implements in the room because why not be there? Sports towel we know that is. Soccer ball. She's interested in soccer, she hasn't actually started playing it, I don't think. Again, process of elimination, it has to be the bag. Her bag! The twins say that in unison. Oh no, don't call to a girl who'd been keeping his silence. Yagaki, if you please. Yagaki brings a squeaky wheelchair and stops in front of his sister basket. And offers a school satchel to her from atop her knees. This is usually her Yatsura's bag, found in the greenhouse. Do you mean that since Yatsura Senpai left her personal belongings in the greenhouse? She's trying to tell the other girl to go get her bag? Yes. In other words, it was an accident after all. Yes, I repeat. Sister Basket lets out an uncharacteristically huge sigh. Well, this is... That is really something. At first, the expression is filled with worry and regret, but last she breaks into a smile and murmurs, "Thank goodness." Miss Kosaka. Yes? Your innocence has been proven. The Lord has not forsaken you. The corners of Mio's mouth twist in religious phrasing, but she nods. Sister Basket tells the rest of the class as they heard. Miss Kosaka's Amitiė partner. I've cleared her name. I will suspicion. Please continue to be good friends to her from now on. Understand? Yes, they say in harmony. I see the joy bursting from Rika and Mayuri as they break into smiles. Miss Dahlia... Dahlia says, Miss Kosaka. Yes? Your innocence has been proven because the Lord has blessed you with a true friend. No one can compare to a friend who will go so far to help another out. Yes. She replies passionately then. Ah, He wraps her arms tightly around me. For a moment, I have no idea what's going on. Thank you, Suoh-san. I'm so happy. Her body is as warm as a sunny spring day. I know Rika's looking on sadly, but I cannot pull myself away from her warmth. It's finally over, I whispered, looking out the window at the night sky. You know what, I think we'll have this, probably Yuri monologue in a moment. Well, next episode, actually. So, guys, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Iつか目覚